This is Solo P1. Welcome to F1 Flaming Tarmac. I just want to say a few words before I start this video. This is nothing really to do with the weekend, F1 weekend or football. It's just a dear friend of mine, kind of like a friend, if you want to call it that. There was a podcast I used to listen to, the Kevin Castle Show, Don Tony and Kevin Castle Show. Been listening to him for over a decade. Brilliant podcast, absolutely amazing podcast. Found out today that one of the broadcasters, the co-owner of the channel, Kevin Castle, sadly passed away a couple of days ago. And I just want to dedicate this video to you because it's like that podcast, it was called the Don Tony and Kevin Castle Show. They cover wrestling. And news, pop culture. And it's like this guy's been in my life for over a decade, from New York. I never actually met the guy, but I've spoke to him through Twitter and stuff like that. I've always listened to his shows. It's like if I was had a bad day, I'd come home, I'd whack his podcast on, and he'd always cheer me up, him and Don Tony. But for Kevin Castle, he passed away. I think he was in his early 50s. Don't want to get into all that, why he died and stuff like that. But he's dead. I just want to dedicate this show to Kevin Castle. Absolutely amazing dude. And yeah. So, what we're going to talk about now, this is F1 Flaming Tarmac, episode 67. This is the Bahrain GP. For everybody, for anyone who was listening to us on the podcast, the audio, the Spotify, the iTunes, the Stitcher, the Amazon Music, please recommend this audio podcast to your friends. So I'm going to bring in my coke, who's my partner in crime, Toto Abba. Big up, Toto. How's it going, bro?
Big up, man. Big up.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's going well, man. It's going well. Just been enjoying the weather. Can't wait for the Formula One this weekend, man. But yeah, overall, just feeling well.
Yeah. So it was a strange race last week. Not really going the way of Ferrari's way. Max Verstappen winning a race. I think it was his first race he's won in a while. Got pole. And he won the race. Very awkward track, that overtake, like we went over on the video. If you want to catch that video, go up on our YouTube channel, Keep It Sports, and you can see that video. We talked about it when we done the review. But yeah, Lewis Hamilton. We're going to start with him first, obviously. There was news on the F1 website saying the F1 bosses of Ferrari saying that Lewis Hamilton is a very exceptional driver. Ex-Ferrari driver Mark Genie Loud's new recruit Hamilton. He says that he's a brilliant driver, a very exceptional driver, and the pressure is really on Ferrari to make sure they get a car for him so we can win a title. So what's your thoughts on that, Toto? You think the pressure is really on Ferrari? I think it is.
On Ferrari?
Yeah, on Ferrari to make sure they get a car for Lewis Hamilton. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, they've got a man, because in the day, Lewis Hamilton has transferred to Ferrari to potentially win championships and, you know, a new fresh start.
Yeah.
But at the moment, Mercedes, the team that is left, has been looking better.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
Facts.
More stable. You saw it in Suzuka. He looked more stable with the car. The way when they're going in fast bends, you know how Suzuka is in fast bends. I know Bahrain's, but I'm talking about the Mercedes as a whole. Looks more stable, looks more quicker. Like Kimi Antonelli's doing well in that car. George Russell's doing well in that car. Always getting up there and qualifying, top 4, top 3 sometimes. Mercedes has like a well balanced all round car, but with Ferrari, we don't know where it's at. It's really unstable.
Yeah,
the traction control isn't really well on the Ferrari. So hopefully they can fix that, because I want to see Lewis win more and more titles. I want to see him at least win one more.
Yeah.
But it's not just about Lewis. I want the whole Ferrari team to do well. Of course, for Lewis as well, but just Ferrari does need to sort it out when the new upgrades come along, because upgrades are coming soon.
Yeah.
It's been, 4 races now?
Well, I think the upgrades are expected to come round. I think round about Miami. I know they've got something coming. Remember Lewis alluded to it on the last weekend when he said they got some bit they're waiting for, and they're gonna hopefully that starts to work. It's something to do with the rear wing. It's a bit stiff, so they need to get that a little bit more flexible. That's what they're saying. So we'll see what happens. It could be anything. Look, Ferrari are not going to give the secrets away. But yeah, hopefully Lewis Hamilton can get back on track. So this weekend, it's going to be a very interesting weekend at the Bahrain Grand Prix. This is the second of a triple header. Bahrain GP. I really like this track. This is the one I used to love playing on the PlayStation. You know, when we used to do the wheel, when we used to go online, I used to love this track, Bahrain. You know, nice night race, isn't it? Night race! But you remember, when the Bahrain Grand Prix first started, it was in the daytime for a couple of years, and then they put it to the nighttime because the drivers were saying it was too hot, being in the Gulf Desert. But yeah, I really like this track. They used to. This is what I do testing here. It's one of these tracks where it's a good track, man. You can overtake. There's a few overtakes. You can get a good toll. You can follow. You can follow the car around this track. Not like Suzuka last week, where you got basically no chance of following anyone. Yeah, man, I really like this track, Toto. What do you think of this track? I really like this Bahrain GP.
Well, I've always been used to Bahrain being the first race on the calendar.
Yeah, for a while, because we used to be Australia and then they changed it. Now it's back to Australia again. Go ahead.
But Bahrain is an all-round good track. You got good straights. You got, that it's just overall a really good track, really wide, good for overtake, and that's what I want, because these past couple of races it's always been strategy, and I like the strategy part of it, but I also want to see some action in the races as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bahrain have always had a good series of races here, especially turn 1. Absolutely carnage going into turn 1, 2, and 3 and 4. There's always some type of crashes. Like every time
nobody gets hurt though when we talk about crashes.
Every time I think about this track, I think about the Roman Grosjean incident.
Yes, I was just about to say that.
Every time I think about this track, I think about that incident. So hopefully nothing happens like that again, because he's lucky to still have his life.
I'm telling you, bro. If it weren't for that piece of metal,
it weren't for the doctors and the safety car people letting him out.
No, it wasn't nothing to do with that. It was nothing to do with them. What saved him was you was nearly there then. It was nothing to do with the doctors. What saved him, because he actually walked out of there. What saved him was that thing on the front. What's it called? The halo. The halo that stopped him. Because if it weren't for the halo, his body probably would have been cut in half by the metal barrier. It was the halo that saved him. The halo. And absolutely amazing track. So, who's your going into this weekend? I saw the British drivers. We got Lewis Hamilton, obviously. We've got Lando Norris. What do you think of McLaren's chances this weekend, Toto?
I think McLaren's chances is really high. It's a perfect track for them. Really, really perfect track. These past 4 races, they've been absolutely amazing in terms of speed, balance, straight line speed. I don't think they were really, really unlucky when it came to Suzuka. They're really, really unlucky. They could have done way better than that. You know, how Piastri was going up in time, going down in time. It was just up and down track. Basically, you can't overtake.
Yeah.
And it's a really, really tight track. So with Bahrain, there's so much space to overtake. I wouldn't say a lot of straights. There is some good straights, but there is some good fast bends as well, which really suit McLaren. McLaren overall is an all-round car, and it's really, really quick. But yeah, McLaren is. I think if you're about driver terms, I think Piastri could win this one.
It could be. It's gonna be close. I think my favourite. Look, practice hasn't started yet. That doesn't start till tomorrow. This is the preview of the weekend. But regarding the favourite for me, if we just before practice starts, obviously it's going to be McLaren, because you can overtake here. Even if Lando or Piastri doesn't get pole, which I think they will. Even if they don't get pole, I still think they're going to win it anyway. I think they've got the car. I think the car's really fast. Max Verstappen alluded to it last week. He said if it wasn't for this track being hard to overtake, they would have passed me. Their speed of the lap pace was a lot faster than Max Verstappen's as well. And he says it's because of the track, the way it's designed, very hard to overtake, and because of the ground effect as well. We know about the ground effect, very hard to overtake with this ground effect at the Suzuka. And this is why. So I'm going to go with McLaren the way it is so far. When the weekend review comes on Monday or Sunday, whenever we do it, then we'll see what happens then, innit? But before a car's even gone, yeah, because at the moment they're doing the press conferences. And so, yeah, for me, it's got to be McLaren the favourites. Yeah. Look, he was lucky. In my opinion, I think Max Verstappen, he done a brilliant lap at Suzuka. So that he was lucky to get that pole, because he knows if he wouldn't have got that pole and the two McLarens would have got in front, it would have been their race. We know how it goes here. So yeah, Max Verstappen got the win. But I think this weekend, I think McLaren is going to restore order to the table, because I think at the moment, at the top of the table is Lando Norris. Second is Max, and I think third is Piastri. And I think that's going to be turning around. I think the two McLarens are going to be 1 and 2 this weekend. If it don't, I'm going to be shocked. I'll be shocked if they don't. So let's move on to some other news. What's going around in the paddock? Max Verstappen won't be driving in practice 1. I'm not sure if you don't know this. You can easily get it. It's on F1.com. If you go on F1.com, you can see it. Red Bull have confirmed that Amayu Awasa, he's a Japanese driver. Are guaranteed, I've botched his name. Amayu Awasa will get behind the wheel of Max Verstappen's RB21
academy driver
during a free practice 1 at Bahrain Grand Prix. So Max Verstappen is going to be putting up his feet, putting his slippers on, drinking a cup of tea while he watches this guy drive his car in practice 1. So, like you said, he's academy driver. Do you know anything about this dude, bro?
No, not to be honest with you.
So this is kind of formality,
yeah.
really, isn't it? They usually get the academy drivers to test the cars.
Well, it's probably good for the camera driver, innit?
Yeah, but they do that, innit?
They get more like track time, car time to get used to the Formula One car.
Yeah.
Just in case they get there in the future, it's not all of a sudden just all of a sudden. Of course, it'll be new to them.
Yeah.
But they'll have more of a better feeling, if you know what I mean. But I don't know nothing about this guy. All I know is academy driver, and
he's going to get track time. It's on the .com. That's where I'm reading it from. So so basically, this guy joined the Red Bull Academy in 2021. That famous year where Lewis Hamilton got screwed out of a world title. So he joined in 2021. I'll just send you the link there of it. He joined in 2021, Red Bull Junior team back in 2021. His debut Formula 3 campaign, Awasa, made a setup for F2 in the year that followed and ended the season 5th in the championship. As a result, he bettered the 2023 by taking 4th place. The 23-year-old has since gone to compete in Super Formula, as well as acting as the test driver for Red Bull Racing. So this guy seems like he's the real deal. So he's coming through the ranks. He's going to be testing the car. Maybe a future Red Bull driver. Maybe when Max Verstappen finally wakes up and finds out the car's not it, and then he goes to Aston Martin. So yeah, what do you think about this, Toto? Toto, can you hear me, bro? Your sound's gone. So I'm gonna continue. So what else is in the news? Science basically saying that he's still figuring the car out.
You hear me now?
Yeah. Science is saying he's still trying to figure the car out. The car at Williams, he's trying to adapt to the Williams car, because I know you're a famous fan of Carlos Sainz, Toto. So give us your thoughts on, do you think he's gonna what do you think of Carlos Sainz in the Williams so far? What do you think? Because he said he's trying to adapt.
Yeah, so far in the Williams, let's face it, hasn't really been that great in the last couple of races. But yeah, I think Sainz in his last race finishing 14th.
Yeah.
And you see Albon is getting the better of him, but it's understandable because Albon's been in that car
Exactly.
For more amount of time, and Sainz only been in the car 4 races in the new car, new surroundings, and all that. But yeah, Williams is I'll say decent car. It has improved a lot. If you think about it, getting 20 and 90 consistently every race, now fighting for points. But yeah, Sainz will definitely get used to it. Albon's doing well in the car, doing quite well. finishing consistently in the points.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see signs that he isn't really happy about his results, which is fine because he's a perfectionist, isn't he? Because like quote unquote what he says, looking back at the first 3 races, I think I still haven't yet put a full weekend together.
Yeah.
So you see he has that determination to get better, which is good because you don't want to just settle for out of point. He wants to fight for them points for Williams. Looking back at the first 3
but
yeah, he will get use in the car. Of course, in testing, Sainz is quite comfortable with the Williams in testing. So hopefully, when it comes to it, and of course the Bahrain Grand Prix, hopefully he gets a good qualifying time, and of course does good in the race because he's good track. He felt good in testing with it, so I don't see why not. You won't do good in Bahrain this week. So
yeah, I've got high hopes for Sainz. Look, certainly a few races. Albon, like you said, he's had the better of him the last few races. Albon's been at the team for a lot longer, but Carlos Sainz will adapt like he always has in his career at Formula One, wherever team he went to. He adapts and he ends up being the best driver, in my opinion. I think he was better than Leclerc in Ferrari, in my opinion. Leclerc probably had the better of him regarding qualifying, but race pace for me, it was Carlos Sainz. It was always Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz is a very, very, very good driver. They didn't want him at Red Bull because they know he would have challenged Max Verstappen. This is why they didn't want him at Red Bull. This is why they went for someone else, that Liam Lawson, which didn't work out. The Red Bull didn't want a driver that could challenge Max Verstappen. But yeah, regarding Carlos Sainz, absolutely amazing driver. I've got no doubt in my mind that he will adapt and he will get the better of that car. And before you know it, when it gets before Silverstone, he'll be beating Albon. No disrespect to Albon. Albon's a good driver, but Carlos Sainz is better and he will adapt. And Carlos Sainz, I think he's not. I don't think he's even 30 yet, so he's not. He's coming into his prime. So yeah, man, he's gonna be there about Carlos Sainz. I think the Williams car with Dane Bowers there coming from Mercedes, coming to that team that's injected some new energy into the Mercedes team. And yeah, into the Williams team. And yeah, I think Williams is going to be, and I really hope for Formula One's sake, Williams being a legacy team, as you can call it now, a legacy team, hopefully that Williams is going to be back up there fighting for podiums because I really, really like Williams. It's one of them teams that everybody loves. Everybody loves Williams. Look how many good drivers that's played.
It's got heritage.
Yeah.
Got heritage.
Heritage. There you go. Heritage. So yeah, man. So Total Hammer. The Bahrain Grand Prix this weekend. It's the podcast, Flaming Tarmac, episode 67. So Total Hammer, I want to give you your opinion over the weekend on what you're looking forward to, drivers, teams, and yeah, what you think before we head off.
Yeah, I think my overall predictions. I think the best team, of course, is going to be McLaren, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and it's a more suited track.
Yeah,
it's suited for speed, and just you can overtake as well. So I think McLaren's going to be strong. I think Piastri's going to come away with the win this weekend.
You're convinced about Piastri, aren't you?
No, I think Piastri could do really well this season. I personally think he's on the same level, if not better than Norris, in my opinion.
I think he's just as good a driver as Norris, but I think Norris has just got the edge.
Yeah.
I think he's just got the edge. But again, we'll see how it goes this weekend, then it.
Now, of course, I want Norris to do well. Coming from a British person,
Yeah.
I'm gonna back my man. But I think Piastri's gonna come over the win this weekend, and I think the winner, like I said. But yeah, I think Piastri's gonna come over the win.
You didn't say you winner.
Piastri's gonna come over the win.
Okay, then. So for me, I think overall before the weekend starts, my opinion might change. But like I said, the race hasn't started yet. For me, in my opinion, I think one of the McLaren drivers are going to win. If I'm going to say one, it's probably going to be Norris. I think Norris is showing really good maturity. Really good maturity compared to last season. He's really, really, really stepping up this season. At the beginning of the season, he come out and said, I know how to beat Max Verstappen. The way he beat Max Verstappen, you have a faster car, obviously. But also when it goes to those 50-50 moments when it's wheel to wheel, you're going to know when to dip in and dip out. I don't think Norris is going to be rattled this season. He looks like a different man. Maybe he's had psychological sports analysis, psychological over the winter break. Maybe he saw like a doctor to say how to keep your mind straight, because a lot of athletes do that. Footballers do it, snooker players do it, dart players do it. You see sports psychologists. Maybe he saw one and he's getting his head straight because he seems like a different man. But we're only gonna know that he's a different man when it comes to them crucial moments, when it gets to the busiest end of the season, and you got McLaren fighting for the title, two guys, him and Piastri, fighting for the title, and we'll see what happens then. Then you know if the sports psychologist has worked, isn't it? Because it's all right saying it now at the beginning of the season. It's also what happens to the busiest end, when there's 6 races to go, and you can actually see the title right there. That's when you're gonna. That's when your mindset that's tested. So that's a flaming Tarmac episode 64. Toto, anything you want to say? Because you didn't really talk much on here. Because I've been talking too much. I know. Toto, anything you want to say before we go? To the people on the iTunes, and Spotify.
I'm just gonna say, because people listen to the podcast as well. We're increasing a bit of views on that, so people listen to the podcast, and of course YouTube as well. YouTube's growing 5.7K, I think. 5.7K.
We're nearly on the 6K, bro.
So yeah, man, 6K is coming.
Yeah.
So keep subscribing, keep liking, keep supporting as always.
Yeah.
And football and Formula One, man, that's where it is.
We're nearly there. We are nearly there. What you say?
When football's on its off season.
Yeah.
Or it's just not on at all. We'll do more WWE videos. So check that out as well.
Yeah. So what he said is we will be back. We'll be back probably Sunday or Monday for the F1 weekend review. We will be doing, remember, come over to the YouTube channel. You see live analysis data on the screen. When the practice 1, 2, 3 sessions are on, race and qualifying, you can see the watch along, you see all the data, the virtual map, you hear the sound. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Come over to the YouTube channel. And if you don't want to watch it for too long, just smack the like button. Really helps. And for people on the iTunes, I haven't forgot about you. The Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn, we're all on there. F1 Flaming Tarmac. And the podcast is called Keep It Sports. Remember, look out, just search it and you'll see our logo, the logo what's in that corner of the TV. Come over to the channel and smack that like button. Big up to everybody. To all the Formula One fans. We've got 4 people watching us. We're about to leave now, guys. Remember, smack that like button and big up to everybody. Remember, guys, share the video as well. And for the iTunes people and Stitcher and Spotify, share the audio and like it as well, because on iTunes, when you listen to a podcast, you can recommend it. It's just a little few clicks where you got stars. Give us 5 stars and it recommends us to more people out there listening on the podcast. So remember, guys, big up to you. Big up to everybody. Let's just get this intro on. See you later, guys. Big up. Bye.